For the past 30 years, arts education in California schools has been disappearing at an alarming rate, as schools have felt increasing pressure to prepare for federally mandated standardized tests. School curricula is narrowing in focus, leading to a drastic reduction in the amount of time spent on arts and music instruction.
I was desperately trying to bring the arts to my kindergartners at a school that was really about teaching to the test, standards-based curriculum, scripted curriculum, and I was bored, I was frustrated, they were bored. So against the will of my administrator, I did things like finger painting and puppets and song and dance. This is a classroom of all African American students. And they're hearing Duke Ellington for the first time. They're hearing, Ella and Nina, and they are loving it.
Oh, I didn't realize you were coming now. Are we ready? There's the subject.
There's the subject.
There's the predicate.
There's the predicate.
There's the subject.
There's the subject.
There's the predicate.
There's the predicate.
There's the subject.
There's the subject.
There's the predicate.
There's the predicate.
That's how you make a sentence.
That's how you make a sentence.
When I first started to teach back in the late 60s, we had a full-time librarian, we had poetry in the schools, we had lots of really wonderful community-based programs as well as curriculum, and it really made the students a lot more well-rounded. We have a proposition in California called Prop 13 that was very wounding. They stripped the classroom of any resources. Most teachers would have to spend some of their paltry salary on resources for the classroom. I went to visit my now late partner who taught kindergarten, first and second grade at Cesar Chavez School, and I said, that's the rug from the bedroom, or, can we have the vacuum cleaner back? I mean, it was really that sparse.
In 1978, California voters approved Prop 13, a law protecting property owners from high taxes, thereby dismantling public school funds and arts education. Before Prop 13, California schools were ranked among the best in the country. Now California ranks 49th in the nation for per pupil funding, and our class sizes are on average 50% larger than the rest of the nation. This is not just happening in California. Nationally, only 3% of elementary schools offer dance and only 4% offer theater. And access to arts education for Black and Hispanic students is significantly lower than their peers and has been steadily declining for 3 decades. Research shows that students of low socioeconomic status who participate in arts learning in school have lower dropout rates, stronger academic performance, and are more likely to go to college and secure meaningful employment. Simply put, students with more arts involvement over time are less likely to drop out of school. So why is it that kids who could benefit the most are least likely to receive arts instruction?
I'm dyslexic, so when I was in middle school, I didn't really know how to read that well. Arts education has really just helped inspired me to keep on doing those things that were a lot harder for me, which in school was really hard for me. Most of the kids there were all people of color. It wasn't just me. I know it wasn't just me. There are so many kids in there that just came in with so much anger. It's like this feeling inside of you that is just so tired of going through the same pattern.
I'm chair of the Public Safety Committee in Sacramento, and you do recognize the fact that a lot of the kids who are in trouble, that there are many pieces to that equation. The restlessness that seems to affect all youth, not having outlets, not being able to sit down and create something, does stilt, I think, development. And if there's nothing else to do, but be on the street without any programs, you're going to see kids becoming outliers.
Several of the students that have been involved, I take the entire 5th grade, so nobody's left out, even the shy kids. And some of these children have had, especially the ones that ended up with speaking roles and leading roles in the production, they really had trouble on a daily basis at school. You know, they would have outbursts, and once they got involved in these productions, their behavior completely changed, and it validated them in the school.
School isn't just about learning math and learning how to read and write. School is holistic. School is supposed to be building the whole child, and if you take art or music out of the equation, you don't build the whole child. You don't build the child for the future.
I had bad grades in middle school. I barely made it through 8th grade. I barely graduated. You know, I knew that my brain thought differently for a reason. Like maybe it wasn't able to get, you know, whatever algebra equation, but it was able to make my body do amazing things, you know, that other people couldn't do. There's other youths too that are like me and have grown up with arts. There's a lot more like, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it, you know, and actually doing those things.
"72% of employers say that creativity is of concern when they are hiring, and 85% of the same employers can't find the creative applicants they seek. Extensive research has demonstrated that arts education engages students in learning, contributes to higher test scores, and reduces truancy and dropout rates.
I think there's a lot of untapped resources. The schools where the parents are more involved, a lot more gets done. And it's crucial, I think. We have to work together. Everybody has to work together because we're all part of the same thing.
As a young person, my daughter, because of the trauma that she experienced, had a very difficult time being still in class, listening in class. She tended to, when she was afraid, her senses would just completely shut off. So for her, engagement with the arts taught her how to open back up all of her senses, her seeing, her hearing, her being able to use her voice. And she's a really confident, beautiful young lady now.
I mean, I've worked with a lot of young people, and the ones that are in music, dance, the ones that are writing poetry are the ones that are typically the ones that are the most well-behaved, excel in their grades, their academic grades. They have the least amount of attention problems. I'm not saying they're the most perfect kids, but there are certain things that I think when you're in art that helps you organize your thoughts, gives you a sense of patience.
We are calling out to you to join our committed and passionate army of parents, administrators, students, teachers, policymakers, and concerned citizens as we advocate to change the landscape of education by asking for a strong presence of the visual and performing arts in schools. You can volunteer in the classroom and school, invite artists from the community, organize a fundraiser, show up at a meeting where folks are making budget decisions, build on what's already working, take a stand.
Start small. Spend some time in the classroom with children and see what the arts can do for them. I also say that it's really important that you jump in and you get dirty. That it's not enough to stand back and watch what happens in the classroom, but really it's a gift to be given the opportunity to dive in.
You just have to champion it in any way you can. Writing an email, talking at parent conferences that you're advocating for the arts, talking to administrators. Let your passion be known.
There could be other people who feel the same way you do, and they can have an impact on, you know, how the schools are run, making sure the people that you elect and kind of run the school district and the people who train teachers and the teachers themselves also see that value.
What are the qualities that we need to instill in children that are going to be living, hopefully, in a world that's going to be very different from now? Will they need to be open to change? I think so. Will they need to be flexible? I know so. Will they be able to be resilient in the face of challenges? The arts really prepare children for all of these things in a very thoughtful and warm way that isn't necessarily scary. And yet it prepares them for tackling some really, really major issues and challenges of the future.
For me, the arts are a way of reaching everybody because they touch everybody. The arts are central to our lives. The arts are everywhere. There's not a shortage of it. We just need to have a bigger presence in the classroom and in the field of learning.
Arts is the root, you know? Then everything grows off of that. All the youth, they grew off of arts, they bloomed like flowers.